If you want to stand out as a registered dietitian, but you're not sure where to start or what to do, in today's video, I'm going to break down branding for dietitians. I believe it's a topic that doesn't get enough publicity. Now, people will use other words to explain branding. They'll say marketing and messaging, but ultimately, that means branding. How do we as dietitians stand out from the competition? How do we offer something unique? And how do we create opportunities so that we can become our own boss? Today's video, I've got you covered. Branding refers to the process of creating a unique identity for a product, a service, or a business. It requires strategic development and management of different assets, including your logo, your tone of voice, messaging, design, and overall perception of your business. It's a big deal. For beginners, branding is about defining the purpose of your business. Ultimately, why would people pay you? So I want to ask you, as a dietitian, do you know why people would pay you? If you do, and you can explain your elevator pitch or what you do and what the purpose is for why you do it, then you're actually in pretty good shape as a dietitian. Now, dietitian branding is a process, so you might have some inkling that you want to, let's say, do nutrition coaching now, but if you don't know who it's for and what you're helping, what problem you're solving, then you have a long ways to go with developing a strong brand as a dietitian. Branding involves developing a compelling story and consistently delivering on your brand promise. So if you say you help people find food freedom, then you want to consistently have a process where you help people walk through what does that look like. And then you also get testimonials or client results that showcase that you are in fact delivering on the results that you've promised that you would help them with. And that's all part of the branding experience. Now, for more advanced dietitians, branding can be considered the essence of your business. How do other people describe what you represent, what you do, and how you do it, and why you exist? And how do you stand out from your competition? So in the beginning stages, branding for dietitian means that you can explain why you exist. And the more intermediate version of branding would be, how do you create your presence and differentiate yourself from other people? Because everyone has competition, right? There are so many dietitians in the prenatal space, so many dietitians in the diabetes space, so many dietitians in the sports nutrition space. And I believe there's room for all of us, but there's some nuance, right? Between one dietitian in diabetes versus another dietitian in diabetes. And as an advanced practitioner, as a dietitian in branding, you will be able to fully explain how you're different from the next dietitian who is in the same space as you. And that process does require strategy. It requires that you have conversations with people, that you think about how you're different, and then you get feedback, and that you're constantly working on that strategy and adjusting it based on people's perception of you. And most importantly, you want to get more results from clients and feedback and testimonials, and then you want to get similar testimonials from other clients. Once you have 100 or 200 testimonials from clients that are all essentially saying a similar thing that you help them do, that's a sign that you've achieved the intermediate level of branding as a dietitian. If you wanted to learn more about advanced branding as a dietitian, comment below and I'll make a video dedicated to that topic. Now, I want to give you some examples because maybe you need some more context. Maybe you're a visual dietitian, and I get that. For example, here at Dietitian Boss, we ask you to show your face and tag us for accountability. And here's an example of that. One of our Dietitian Boss alumni clients, Laura, showing her face. We also have dietitians using our mug, taking a picture and then putting that in their stories and tagging us for accountability as well, like Brittany. So these are all examples of how we at Dietitian Boss have branded ourselves well to have our community not only shout us out in stories, but also use our mugs and some of our branding assets and share it back with their community and tag us. Other dietitians take our logo, post it on the wall behind them, and then record videos and reels and social media content to, share their messaging with their audience, like Dietitian Boss alumni Sarah. Shout out to you, Sarah. I'm loving that poster in your background. If you hadn't noticed, that poster says Dietitian Boss. So again, these are all examples of our brand assets being used in our community of other dietitians that are sharing it on social media. So I want you to ask yourself, how can you do that? What can you do to increase brand awareness about your business as a dietitian? Branding is not only beneficial for private practice dietitians. Okay, branding is beneficial for every dietitian, even if you work in a corporate or a clinical job, and even if you're a student. So here's how. Tactically, if you want to build your brand, you'll get more opportunities. And you can do that through developing your web presence. That can be through a website, setting up your EMR like Practice Better, using a meal planning software like eat love, and, drumroll, social media, developing a social media presence. Even if it's just pictures, selfies of you and pictures of your food until you get more clear about what people want and need. Branding as a dietitian or even a clinical dietitian without a business is going to help you gain confidence and opportunities. Think about how other people perceive you and get some feedback. Ask them, what stands out about me? I'll tell you, when I was in clinical, people constantly told me that I was always prepared, that I was a good planner, and that I exceeded all my goals. So I was known as somebody who was reliable, trustworthy. I would show up on time and I would get the job done. And because I had that reputation, I was recommended to do teaching and speaking, and I landed some really high-paying gigs, both inside my hospital that were not associated with my 9-to-5 pay, and outside of my job as a clinical dietitian for a lot of money as a consultant private practice dietitian because of my branding. So I took the time to brand myself as a dietitian, as somebody who is not only passionate about dietetics and nutritional science and teaching, which I'm still passionate about today, of course, but I had a reputation for being responsible, for being on time, and for getting the job done. So ask yourself, what stands out about you if you're not yet in business, and how can you leverage those skills, and whether it's developing an online presence or networking more in person in your local community, what tactical thing can you do to start doubling down on how you are different from other people? That's a good start. If you like this video, I want you to watch this next video on screen. We also have a free guide linked below that I want you to grab about how to quit your clinical job. Now, this is a comprehensive list, step-by-step, that shows you, if you want to become your own boss, what you need to do step-by-step so that you can get there faster and join your friends, the Dietitian Boss alumni and current Dietitian Boss clients of ours who've already been able to hit that milestone.